Now remember what I've talked about before, yogis, about this hand that we're standing on. If the fingertips are pointing more inward, right, the shoulder is closed. So we need to rotate that hand even more to be able to open up the shoulder to fully extend into the heart opener. So adjust your feet, do what makes sense for your wild thing. And then when you're ready, press down, send those hips up, and then keep rotating. All right, here we go. Now we're ready to start the class. So welcome to Hips and Heart, everybody. The focus here is going to be opening our hearts, working especially with our back and the area around our hips. So starting here in a nice comfortable sitting position, some length in our spine, closing our eyes, taking a few deep breaths in through our nose, out through our mouth. Taking a moment for yourself. To land here on your mat. Releasing everything that we don't need in this moment. Any connections to anything outside of our mat. Any thoughts, feelings, tensions in the body. Just begin to let them sail away. We're going to slowly start to activate our bodies all the way from deep inside of our cores, activating our bandhas. So finding Mula Bandha, the root lock, Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock, feeling that support from around our hip area, finding some more length in the spine, closing the mouth, breathing in and out through the nose. And maybe connecting with our Ujjayi breath. So creating this little activation or tension in the back of the throat, creating the sound of waves on our breath. Finding an even tempo on the inhale, on the exhale. Very nice, yogis. When you're ready to start moving, we're going to come up onto all four in tabletop. Finding a little warm up here for the wrists to begin with. So hands under the shoulders, spread the fingers, and then we're just going to lean forwards as far as what feels okay for our wrists, and then a little bit from side to side. And then we can start to rotate the fingertips towards the outside of our mats. If it feels okay, the fingertips more towards our knees. A little micro bend in the elbows, keeping the weight over the hands, maybe a little bit further back on the knees, and again from side to side. One more breath here. And coming back to all four. Preparing for your cat-cow. So really letting the motion begin and end with our core. So using the back muscles, activating, opening the front body, and then pulling in the stomach, the ribs, curving over. Continuing here, find your own tempo, your own breath. But also realizing that we can engage our glutes, our shoulder blades, our chest, expanding this movement here a little bit further. One final breath. Very nice. Coming back to all fours, thread the needle. On the inhale, one of your arms is coming up towards the ceiling, spreading the shoulder blades. On the exhale, think of bringing this finger behind the standing arm, finding as much length as you can. So threading that needle towards the outside of your mat and then curving, coming down to the floor, finding a little twist in our spine. To go a little deeper here, think of having your hips above your knees, and then maybe the hand that was supporting on the floor can come up on the opposite hip. And releasing that hand back to the floor. Find the support on the inhale. Doing the opposite twist. Exhale, bringing the hand down. Getting ready to change sides. Inhale. Opposite arm is coming up. Find that twist. Exhale, coming down, threading that needle. Maybe bringing the hand up to the opposite hip, grabbing a hold. Pulling in the lower abdominals, opening up the shoulder that's above us, going deeper and deeper into the twist. Very nice, yogis. On the exhale, releasing the pose. On the inhale, finding the twist to the opposite direction again. And exhale, coming down. Modified side plank, Vashisthasa. So one ball of your foot is coming out to the side here for support, and then gently moving the weight into the hand, the knee, and the top foot. So you can spread the upper arm upwards, keep the weight over your hand, press down in the top foot, almost so much that we can lift up the bottom knee. One more inhale. Maybe start doing a little twist with the heart up towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, activating from your core, curving the spine, coming back down to all fours and changing sides. Opposite ball out, finding that support, shoulder over the hand, breathing in, find that length. One more breath in, find some more expansion, maybe opening the heart slightly towards the ceiling. Exhale, pulling in the core, curving the spine, and back to tabletop. Wonderful, yogis. From here, hands a little bit further forward and then laying down on our bellies. Finding our Sphinx pose. So elbows under the shoulders, forearms in front of us. So just a little passive heart opener here to start with. And then slowly activating more and more. So pressing down into the feet behind us, lifting the knees, engaging our glutes, pulling the shoulders down, shoulder blades together, and long neck and spine. One more breath. Exhale, releasing the pose, pushing ourselves back to all fours, and then finding downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Coming into the pose here, taking a few breaths, and feel free to move, to adjust, really keeping your awareness around your mat, listening to your body and what your body is telling you. Maybe it's saying, oh, if you just moved a little bit like that, if you just walked a little bit, curved a little bit, then I would very much appreciate it. So feeling free to explore what feels nice here and connecting with your body. One final breath. And taking a step forwards between your hands. Remembering if it's hard to get that foot forwards between the hands, you can step to the outside of your mat, put down that back knee, and then bring the foot in front of you. Stay down here if you want to, or if we're coming up, hands could just be supporting on the thigh or on our hips. So finding the stretch in the front of our hip, on that front leg. What I want you guys to do here is pull in your stomach, activate your glutes, pull yourself forward with the front leg. And on the exhale, press down into that front leg, send the hips backwards while you're sending the top of the head forwards, and then bending over as far as what feels comfortable for you today. Two more. Press into that front foot, pull yourself forward again, engage the core, press the seat forward, inhale, maybe a slight heart opener. Exhale, pressing forwards again. Beautiful, yogis. One final round. Pressing down, coming forward. Inhale, maybe bring the arms up. And exhale, folding over, hands to the floor. Now from here, we're going to transition into our pigeon pose, but I have an extra challenge for you today if you're up for it. Press down into the hands. Now with a straight leg, this is going to be more challenging. With a bent leg, this is going to be easier. But see if you can lift up that front leg here in front of you and then bring it between your hands, placing it down, and then finding your pigeon. All right, length out in that back leg behind us. Length out through the head, walking the hands over your front knee. Deep breaths. From here, walking the hands to the one side of your mat. So bringing in a little side stretch, but also stretching some different parts of our seat. And walking the hands over to the opposite side. Back again to the middle. All right, so we're moving back to downward facing dog. Extra challenge if you're up for it. Hands under your shoulders. Lean the weight into your hands. On the inhale, expand. On the exhale, your core is activating, pulling you up from the floor. And then we're gonna lift that leg up, placing it back into a high plank, and then pushing back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Changing legs. The opposite leg is coming forward. Bring that back knee down. Take as much time as you need here, finding that lunge. And stretching the front of our thigh. Coming up. Or it's more a stretch on the front of our hip, but maybe you're feeling it in your thigh too. So pull yourself forward, inhale. Exhale, press into that front foot, folding over the longest way. Deep breaths, yogis. Staying here for one. Push down, pulling yourself forward. Inhale. Maybe a slight heart opener. Exhale, folding over. We have two more here. Inhale and forwards, heart opener again, maybe slightly deeper. Keep pulling forward, engaging your core. Exhale. Final breath. Inhale forwards, hands are up, opening that heart towards the sky. Exhale, folding over. All right, so for those of you that want that extra challenge, let's see. Press down, activate the core, find the length. You can come further back with your hands, you can bend that knee, but try to lift up the front leg, bringing it in underneath. Wonderful. Placing it down, finding your pigeon pose. Squaring off those hips, straightening out that back foot, length through the spine. Think it's a little bit of a heart opener here as well, yeah? And then folding over. One more breath. Walking the hands to one side. And walking the hands to the opposite side. Coming back again. Now feel free, find the easiest way to transition to Adho Mukha Svanasana or doing this a little extra activation. Sending the weight forwards into the hands, breathe in. On the exhale, your core is lifting up into a plank. Holding there for a second and then pushing back into our downward facing dog and then walking it out. 2-3 breaths. Enjoy, yogis. Inhale, looking forwards between the hands. Exhale, bending the knees. Remember, try to enjoy this now. Just straightening and bending, Finding a little action in the legs, focusing on the arms, keeping them straight for support. When you're ready, when you're feeling it, when the timing is right, you're either going to step or do a small little hop forwards to the hands and then try to land silently. Wonderful. Inhale, halfway lift, find some length. On your exhale, folding over. Feel free to grab your legs here, bending the knees as much as you can, maybe walking them out slightly. All right, releasing the feet. Inhale, coming all the way up through flat back, upward salute. Maybe a slight heart opener here, one more breath. And exhale, arms are coming down. Very nice. One more upward salute. So here, breathing in, arms up. Feel free to keep some space between your hands if that feels all right, or placing them together. Now, if you have your feet apart, it's going to be a lot easier. If you bring your toes together, it's going to be a lot more challenging, trust me. So feel free to keep them slightly wider, maybe a slight external rotation, so that we can focus on the back bend without the legs or the hips being an issue here. So, shoulders to the ears, press your fingers to the roof. Trying to send your fingers back behind you, and then imagine sending just your heart up towards the ceiling. Keeping your breath active, long. Moving on here, sending the lower ribs up towards the ceiling, so we're bending the middle part of our back. Staying there. If it's getting too heavy, feel free to bring your hands down in front of your heart. Now from here, yogis, activate your legs and your butt. Press your feet into the ceiling, I was trying to say, into the floor. And then press your hips forwards as we start bending the lower back. So really using the whole spine here. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, you're allowed to, but try to keep them straight and pressing, keep pulling yourself further and further back. And then engaging the core, the front of the hips, to pull yourself just back up again to a straight pose. And taking a moment here, resting, relaxing. One more breath. So for the next one, still standing where you are, we're grabbing the forearms, or feel free to interlace the fingers and keep the palms together. Now it's okay to open up the hands, but it'll be harder to keep them here than if we interlace the fingers. It's fine to have the elbows slightly bent if that's where you are today, but we're trying to straighten out the arms, pull the shoulder blades together. So you're opening up your chest, not pushing your chest forward, but just opening the chest. From here, leading with the hands and then finding a little forward fold, shoulder and heart opener. So if it makes more sense to bend the knees a little bit, relaxing the belly on the thighs, go ahead and do that. Focusing on pulling the shoulder blades together and pressing the hands further and further down. On the next exhale, dropping the hands to the floor and taking a couple of breaths here. All right, now if your wrists are ready, we're going to focus on a little arm balance here to make our way back to a high plank. But if the wrists aren't totally ready, then try to modify here, yeah? Don't put as much weight into the hands. So feel free to take a little step back on your mat, hands to the front, straight arms, and then here, first the shoulders are in front of the hands. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Yeah, you can be down here if you need to, that's fine. And then we're sending the weight over the hands, maybe past the fingertips, pressing down as much as we can. And then from here, keep the weight over the hands while we step or do a little hop back to a high plank. Holding the pose. On the next exhale, slowly, and I mean slowly, on at least 3 counts. 1, lowering down towards the floor. 2, almost there, and 3, and then resting down. So now your hands should be roughly where your chest are. If they're not, feel free to move them slightly back. If this is uncomfortable for your elbows, your shoulders, your wrists, then take the hands out to the outside of your mat. Moving into Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Feel free to spread your legs, creating some space. Pressing down into the feet, lift the knees, activating the thighs, the glutes, your back, and start lifting up. So here, we're gonna keep going, only what feels comfortable for us. So maybe we'll stop at a point where we feel like, oh, yeah, that's enough for right now. Stay there for a moment. And then when the body's getting used to that pose, maybe we can activate even more, coming further up, staying there for a moment. And then maybe we can activate even more, coming even deeper into the pose. Pull the shoulders down and together. Exhale, releasing, releasing, releasing. Slow movements, yogis. Staying here. Relax, rest. 2 breaths. And we're gonna go 2 more times. So when you're ready, press down, lift the knees, lifting the head and the shoulders. Making sure your hands aren't taking over all of the work. And then keep coming further up when the body's ready. A few more breaths here. Beautiful, keep going, keep going. Final breath. And slowly exhale, releasing the pose. Okay, 2 breaths, relax. And last time. Inhale, start lifting up. About 3 breaths. Keep pulling the shoulders down into your back, shoulder blades together. Think of what we were doing standing, yeah? Open your heart. Going through the different parts of the back. Pressing, 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 shoulders down and together, long neck. Final breath. Slowly now, yogis, release slowly down, full control. Feeling that release of all the tension, and how good it feels. All right, when you're ready, slowly pressing back to all 4s and finding our child's pose or balasana. Two more breaths. Noticing where you are, releasing what you don't need. All right, we're coming up, downward facing dog. Finding the full expression of the pose. And we need to press down into the feet and the hands, engaging our core, and trying to compensate here because we're going to lift 1 leg up to 3-legged dog without shifting any weight from side to side. So when you're ready now, choosing whatever leg first that you want to work with, lifting it up towards the sky. Tripada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Holding, holding, holding. 2 more breaths. Lifting up a leg, Olga, all the way, up, 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 up. There you go. And bringing it forwards, knee to chest. Tiger curl, holding, holding, holding. Now, depending on where you are, you might want to find a modified side plank with bringing that knee down or sending the leg back to a high plank and coming into a full side plank. Feel free to keep both of your feet on the mat so we have some more support here. Now, the more your shoulders directly over your hand, the more weight there's going to be. So maybe you have the weight slightly back or in front of your hand. This is what we did earlier on, right? When we came down from standing. So you decide. Feel free on your next inhale to open the heart slightly towards the sky. And on the exhale, curving over, coming back to our high plank, sending the weight forwards into the hands, and then pressing back into downward facing dog. All right, now we know what we're gonna do, finding it on the opposite side. So compensating when you're ready, lifting up 1 leg. Straighten out that knee, Olga, press, press, there you go. Keep lifting, keep lifting, keep lifting. Keep lifting, don't let it sink down again. Keep lifting, press it up, press, 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 press. There you go, keep it up. And knee to chest, tiger curl. Pull yourself forward. Curving the spine, knee to chest, lift it up. Press, 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 there you go. Now you decide, modified side plank or full side plank. Slowly transitioning. Feel free to bend the knees here a little bit, even in full plank, if that makes more sense. Opening up, spread the shoulder blades. Keep pressing the hips up towards the sky. Pulling the hands and feet towards each other. Final breath, maybe opening the heart. And exhale, pulling, coming back down, high plank, shoulders past the fingers, pressing back into downward facing dog. Come down onto your knees and rest. All right, so just a little note here, wonderful work, yogis. If your wrists are feeling a bit intense now, if it ends up being too much, then try to just do a little bit less on the wrists, yeah? So instead of constantly pulling yourself forward, so this is preparations for a lot of arm balances, yeah? That's one of the reasons that I'm putting this in here, but also we need to really warm them up and get ready for the poses that are coming later. So if this is too much, coming all the way forward and working here and doing these variations, then have your arms or your shoulders in front of your hands, and you can also come down sometimes on your forearms, yeah? And just be supporting here, shoulder over the elbow, like we did in Sphinx, yeah? Sorry, I'm not sure if you can see that, but yeah, like that, okay? One more round, but we're gonna put in fallen triangle. So I'll just show you right quick so you know. Inhale, it's gonna be up, exhale, forward, and then we're sending the leg out to the opposite side of the mat. I'll just change feet here so you can see. So that it can be either by your foot out from your hip or the same line as your hands, and then opening up, just think side plank, yeah? So here, this is side plank. I just have one foot out, and then we're gonna transition into a heart opener from here, and then coming back again and out, okay? Let's see, downward facing dog, a little bit faster. So finding the pose, compensating, inhale, one of your legs is coming up, exhale, knee to chest, and then straightening out the leg on the opposite side of the mat, finding the pose, think side plank that we just did, press down into your feet, hips up, spread the shoulder blades, beautiful. Now start finding that twist in your spine, opening your heart towards the ceiling. Keep going, keep going, keep going, twisting, twisting, twisting. Now yogis, here comes the challenging part, leading with your core. Exhale, pulling in, finding your reverse tiger curl again. Inhale, back to three-legged dog, and then continuing into scorpion. So opening the hips here, sending that knee to the ceiling. Exhale, stepping back down again, and preparing opposite side. So one more side, and then you'll get a break, yeah? Remember, come down on your wrists, on your forearms, if your wrists are taking a beating here, yeah? Okay, inhale, coming up, other leg. Exhale, tiger curl. Pull yourself forward. Straighten out that leg, fallen triangle, and start to open up. If you need a break, sit down here and then bring your forearm down. Okay, keep going. Rotating the hips up towards the sky. Activating your butt, press your butt up, up, up. Opening your heart, up, 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 up. So we're here, finding that length, up, 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 up. And now exhale, into the core. Try to lift up that leg again. Reverse tiger curl. Inhale, up to three-legged dog and scorpion. Closing the foot back down again. Coming down onto your knees and rest. Beautiful yogis. Okay, so 2 more breaths here, and then we'll continue. We'll do the other side. So I'm thinking here, of course, for the people that might be watching this again on the recording, it might help if I mark the poses a little bit more. So I'll join you guys and mark for the next round, just to be sure that we all know what we're doing here. Okay, we're coming up, downward facing dog. Finding the pose, compensating. Inhale, one leg is coming up, three-legged dog. Exhale, pulling yourself forward, tiger curl. Straightening out that leg, finding your fallen triangle. or side plank, modified side plank. Keep going here, opening, 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 opening. Now from here, simply sit down on your butt. That's it. Just sit straight down. Perfect. So we're moving into Wild Thing after this. This is going to be your own little workshop for Wild Thing. You can take as much or as little time as you want. We're only doing Wild Thing on this side, Wild Thing on the other side, and then we're done with Wild Thing for today. So you might want to just keep your knees bent and come up, right? Look at this. It's like the same thing that we just did. Just it's a bit more challenging for the shoulder. Now, if you want to straighten out one leg, you straighten out the same leg as your arm, and then maybe adjust your feet even more to come up and make it even more challenging. Okay, so finding your pose, maybe bringing here, thinking that the progression here is going to be moving into Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose. You can also come down here and do it on your forearm if that feels better. So coming in, find the pose, finding out where it's stopping, taking a few breaths there. Same thing we did with the other back bends, and then going deeper and deeper when you're ready. Beautiful, Leif. Keep going. Beautiful, Olga. Very nice. Keep that focus, keep that feeling. When you're ready, when you're finished, you release the pose. Just come straight down to sitting, relax. Okay. So a little bit of like choreography, a little bit of fancy footwork here. Imagine we're gonna come back to this tiger curl. So where do you need to place your feet? Yeah? In order to take this one that's in front of us to come back to our tiger curl. Adjust what you need. Inhale back to three-legged dog. Opening up to scorpion. Breathe, 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 breathe. And then closing the whole thing back down. Coming down on your knees, taking one little breath. Shake out the wrists. Do what you have to. Take a sip of water. One more breath. And when you're ready, coming back, downward facing. Finding the full expression. And on your next inhale, opposite leg is coming straight up. Exhale, tiger curl. Pull yourself forwards. Straighten out the leg, finding your fallen triangle. Inhale, opening up. Turn it into a heart opener, back bend. Press the hips to the sky. Open your heart more. Rotate, 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 rotate. And when you're ready, sit straight down. Beautiful. Now remember what I've talked about before, yogis, about this hand that we're standing on. If the fingertips are pointing more inwards, right, the shoulder is closed. So we need to rotate that hand even more to be able to open up the shoulder to fully extend into the heart opener. So adjust your feet, do what makes sense for your Wild Thing. And then when you're ready, press down, send those hips up, and then keep rotating, rotating, rotating. Now this is yours. You take as much time as you want and come down when you're ready. Connect with your breath. Beautiful. Nice. And releasing the pose. Taking a moment here. Adjusting your legs, your feet. Yeah, so the one foot on the one corner, the hand on that opposite corner, pressing up, finding your reverse tiger curl. Inhale, three-legged. Keep inhaling up into scorpion. And setting the leg down, coming down onto your knees, and rest. Very nice, yogis. Really, really great work. You can be proud of yourselves. So we're going to move into something here, giving the hands and the shoulders a little bit of a break, while we focus a little bit more on working our legs, and particularly our hips. So we're going to be closing, opening, and doing some balancing here. So going from warrior 3 to half moon pose to sugarcane to dancer and back. Yeah. So when you're ready, finding your downward facing, choosing one leg. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, tiger curl, pull forwards, placing the foot between your hands. So from here, you can keep that back knee down if you want for a little break, or leave it up. Inhale, sending the fingertips up, finding a little lunge with a heart opener. So sending up and back, same thing as we did standing earlier. On your next exhale, folding over, finding our pyramid pose. So resting here, opening up the hips, feel free to do any movements that you need, maybe a little twist, almost opening up into a wide-legged forward fold. All right, 2 more breaths here. And preparing for wild thing. Gazing far forward, pressing into the front in front of us, pulling ourselves forward with that leg, and then lifting up the back. So here, feel free to support with the hands, so you can really focus on working that strength in the hips, or lifting up if you want to come into the more full version, hands in front of the heart, or maybe above the head. Staying here, 2 more breaths. When you're ready, opening up that back hip into half moon pose. So from here, if the balance is difficult, bring that hand down for support. Stay here if you want to, or start bending that top knee, bringing your heel in towards your butt, pointing the foot, and then the one hand is grabbing, opening up into sugarcane. Now, if this is difficult, just stay in half moon pose. Finding the balance, your bandhas, pressing down into the foot, especially the big toe. Then when you find the balance, we're thinking of just coming back into our warrior 3, but when we're grabbing the leg, it's more like a dancer's pose here. Taking a couple more breaths, take your time. And when you're ready, releasing that back leg, coming down, full vinyasa, plank, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, upward facing, exhale, downward facing. Okay, last side and we'll take a break. Inhale, the other leg is coming up. Exhale, tiger curl. Pull yourselves forward, place the foot down. Now, if you're getting tired, bring that back knee to the floor, that's totally fine. Or keep it up, inhale, coming up here, finding our heart opener. Keep breathing. Final breath, even deeper, go, 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 go. Exhale, folding over. Wide pyramid pose here, and then just walking it out, opening up, preparing the legs, the hips, doing what your body needs. All right, yogis, I want to see full focus here. Yeah, bring your attention, your awareness around your own mat, around your own body. Connect with these things that we need, our bandhas, the control from our core, from our center, deep down, spreading down through the legs, into the floor, out through the head, out to that back leg. Connect with your ujjayi as we're moving into our warrior 3. Full focus. Keep the hands down. If your balance is a bit too challenging today, staying here, 2 more breaths. When you're ready, start opening up to our half moon pose. Take your time. Think of the bandhas from the core and out. supporting the hand on the floor, if that makes more sense. Helps to find the balance so you can focus on the strength. When you're ready, start bending that back knee in, grabbing a hold, finding your sugar cane. So here it's not just grabbing a hold, but it's pressing, opening the heart and the front of your hip. And when you're ready, start closing the hip down. Keep pressing the hand and the foot up towards the sky, finding your dancer. Keep moving. 2 more breaths. Just 1 more breath. And beautiful, releasing down. If you're tired, just take your break from here. Or if you're ready for it, full vinyasa. So lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. And then child's pose, hero pose. Doing what you need to, taking a little break. Collecting your thoughts, keeping yourself present in this moment. Okay, yogis, when you're ready, we're going to come down on our backs. So preparing for a little bridge workshop, just working here a little bit for ourselves. So we'll probably do about 3 rounds altogether. What I'd like you to think of is, how we built up the rest of the class here is, we usually start a little bit slow and then we'll go into things more and more intense. So here, there's nothing wrong with having more space between your legs, having a slight rotation of the toes and the knees, and same thing with your hands. We can have our hands even on the outside of our mat, yeah? Or further up. They don't need to be, it doesn't need to be all this parallel in the beginning. So since we're doing several rounds, maybe the first round, have it wider so we can connect even more and probably go deeper into the pose. What's important, rotate those fingers outwards, not all the way out or around, but just slightly out so we can get the elbows up. And then when you're ready, pressing down, take your time, lifting the seat. When you're ready, coming to the top of your head, maybe even taking a break here, adjusting the pose again so it feels just right, and then start lifting up, listening to where it's stopping, but keep pressing and keep pressing to go deeper and deeper. Very nice. So if we're going into half bridge here, really pressing into the feet, sending the hips upwards, activating the glutes. And when you feel like you're ready for a break, then coming on down and out of the pose. Nice. So if you want to stick with half bridge for the next rounds, then feel free to make it a little bit more challenging. You could, for example, bring your arms up. You could focus a little bit on your shoulders here, wobble up. You could also start to, if you bring one leg more into the midline of the body, then it's easier to lift up the other leg to make it even about twice as heavy for that standing leg. So you can lift it up, you can come here, you can maybe do a few leg raises, lowering and raising the one leg, yeah? And then changing feet, coming up, lowering and raising, but keeping those hips up the entire time, yeah? So second round, when you're ready. And then Ila, maybe you want to start closing the pose a little bit more if you feel ready for it. Keep the hips up, Olga. Keep them up. So there you go, keep them up, keep them up, keep them up. So don't sacrifice the height of your hips for playing with the leg or the arms. Beautiful, Ila. Keep going, keep breathing. Release your stomach, Ila, release the lower ribs. Beautiful. There you go. Straightening out the arms even more. Awesome. Beautiful. Good job. Okay, releasing the pose when you feel ready, taking a couple of breaths. And the last round is yours. Taking your time to come up, exploring the pose. When you're done, when you're ready, releasing and going back down. When we're coming down, feel free to bring the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe lifting the head as well. You can always rest the head into your hands for some extra support here. Very nice. That was awesome, Ela. You came really high up on that last round. That was sweet. Yeah. Okay, so I want to let you guys stretch out a little bit here for yourself, taking about 3 minutes. Now, feel free to kind of do your own thing. The reason for this is I want you to connect with yourself and feel what is it that your body needs right now. Yeah. So we're becoming a little more sensitive, listening to what our body is communicating with us. Now, just examples of stretches could be a little bit here, the back of the legs, maybe both the legs, maybe do some happy baby. Definitely do a twist or two as well. That's going to be very nice. But maybe you want to come up to sitting and do some stretches here as well. Maybe just focus on the middle splits. Feel free to do what you please here, yeah? This will be your little moment of the class. Very nice, Olga. If you're doing the number 4 there, see if you can press the one knee away from you. Yeah, the one that, there you go, exactly, yeah. So keep pressing that knee away as you're pulling it down towards you. Trying to find length through your spine, particularly the lower back. Very nice. So we'll do about another minute here, maybe a little bit more than a minute. So whatever pose you're in, making sure to do it equally on both sides. Taking a final 4 breaths. Last 2 breaths. Beautiful, you guys. When you're ready, any final adjustments that you need to do for Shavasana. If you feel like you need to do another pose, if you're like, oh, I just need to, then absolutely go ahead and do that. Or maybe just put on some more clothes, turn off the lights, laying down and finding your resting pose. We'll just come in here and adjust the music a little bit. So when you're laying down, taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through your mouth. Becoming aware of the weight of your body. Noticing all the surfaces that are meeting your mat and the floor. And know that you're allowed now to release everything that you're holding on to, everything that you're carrying around with you. Releasing the weight of all that we are. Our bodies, our thoughts, our feelings, releasing it all down into these surfaces, melting deeper into our mats. I'll give you all a few minutes here in silence. Start to gently move the body again. Maybe stretching the arms overhead and taking a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, almost imagining that you're moving in water, so just slowly, calmly making your way over to one side and then coming up, finding a nice, comfortable sitting position. Taking a moment here for ourselves, keeping our awareness around ourselves, and just noticing how we're doing in this moment. Bringing our palms together in front of our hearts, gently bowing our heads, thanking each other for today. Namaste. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to stick around for a couple of minutes, or if not, then yeah. Thanks for today.